difference between growing your business and scaling your business. And we're going to talk about a few things that you need to be on the lookout for. So first, I'll hit the startup phase. Startup phase is when you just have a general idea. You want to start a business, you want to make your own money, you want to contribute something to the world that you see solves a problem. That is a startup. It's an idea. And you have to get known for what that idea is. You have to know who you're serving, what problem you're solving, and how you're solving it. In other words, is it a product? Is it a service? Do you do it in a one-off session or do you do it in a package? Is it a product that you have to take over time or is it a product you take one time? These are the things that you need to determine in a startup phase. Then you're going to move into the growth phase. That means that you have already proven that the product works, people want it, they're willing to pay for it. You have data, you have proof, you have evidence that people want it, people are willing to pay for it. You've already made maybe $40,000, $50,000. So you're like, yes, it's a go, it's a thing. It is worth me putting a lot of time, focus, and energy into it so I can multiply the revenue and maybe even grow a team. So the next thing you have to do is really hit the marketing, get your promotions on target, be super clear about that person, that problem, and the solution, the way that you solve it in particular, and then get your brand built out. Brand recognition is when someone clicks on your name, when they go to your profile, when they go to your website, they know who you are and what you stand for. And no matter where they find you, they know who you are and what you stand for because you're super clear and specific around this. Once you have that dialed in and you already know that the product that you are selling or serving is working, you just push more effort towards what is already working. So this is a great time to look at the data, to eliminate what's not giving you the results that you want, and to blow on what is giving you results. You want to repeat successful actions. So whatever brought in the $50,000 or the most of the $50,000 is where you want to put your focus and attention. You want to eliminate the rest. Now you're going to get this going until maybe you can reach $500,000. I know it's 10xing it. It sounds ridiculous, but it works. And guys, you should be able to get this going by yourself up to $250,000 to $500,000 to $800,000. I know it sounds crazy, but it really does depend on whatever it is that you are serving. So does it require you? Is it one-off? Is it packages? What's the deliverables? And so all of that does matter. Yes, I understand that. But if you are, let's say, a massage therapist or you have a spa, a clinic, you are a practitioner, you should, with a proven process, you should be able to get to $300,000. That's the growth phase. You want to go from 50,000 to 300,000 to 500,000. So the first part is you're just proving that people want it, that it is a business or it could be a business. The second phase, the growth phase, is you multiply that yourself. So you're still the one delivering, selling, marketing, promoting. It has your name written all over it because it is about you and they are coming for you. They trust you. They trust your values. You've built a relationship. You've had a lot of clarity and success stories, and you've been sharing those success stories. Once you get to about $250,000, $300,000, you're probably going to need some help. But be very careful in this phase and make sure that you do have a profit margin. Got it? Okay. At this point, it's usually when you start seeking a mentor or a coach that can help you start preparing for scaling. I see a lot of you guys trying to hire a mentor or a coach or follow someone who's in scale phase before you get out of startup phase. And that gives negative reputation to coaches. I hear this all the time. They start putting down coaches and mentors and all this stuff, but the problem is hiring the wrong person to solve the wrong problem. So you want to be super clear. Do you work with startups? Or do you work with getting a company to 300,000? Have you gotten to 300,000? Do you work with getting someone to 500,000? Do you work with someone who's efficient in building a team and growing a team and hiring and firing, creating systems and processes and KPIs? You have to take responsibility for asking that question when you're looking for a mentor. But first, you have to have clarity around which stage you are in. So if you're in startup, you want to ask very specific questions. Have you ever helped someone get to their first $100,000 or $200,000? That would be a question to ask. And could you show me testimonials? Could you tell me about your process and what you do and how you would help me get there? Have you ever worked with anyone in my industry? Those are questions. The second part, which is the growth phase, is if you ever help someone get beyond $50,000 or $100,000 and take their business to 300 or 500 and help them hire their first employee or their first team member or VA or assistant. Oh, how have you done that? Who have you helped? What industry have you done that in? Would be great questions, right? These are ways to protect yourself and to take responsibility, because you don't want to just like, oh, all coaches are bad, all mentors are bad, which is what I see a lot of online. But that's not going to serve you. We're not bad. We want to help people, but we have to both take responsibility. For me, first of all, pointing out, if you don't have $1,500, you might not have a business. If you don't have access to a credit card for $1,500, you might not be in business. And sometimes people don't want to hear this, but it costs money. It costs money. You will have to take care of what you don't have, whether it's in skill set or mentorship or strategy. And that stuff costs money. So like that's business, right? Okay. The next phase is once you've hit the 300,000, 500,000, 800,000, you're banking on that $1,000,000. Then we know for sure you have an amazing product. You're getting great results. You're getting repeat business and maybe customers for life. Great opportunity to seek scaling mentors, scaling coaching. So an example of this is if you are a massage therapist and you now have an $80,000 business. Great. You're probably running out of time. And so maybe you're going to hire someone. It could be a 1099 who's going to come in, who's going to take the overflow. Or you would go into packages. At that point, you want to get around 100,000, maybe 120 up to 150. At that point is where you want to consider, I'm going to start packaging this. I'm going to be more mindful with my time. I'm going to hire some help. Once that's done, and you now have a system that is working with other people, now we can scale. Because if you've done it successfully for yourself, you've done it successfully with someone else, now we can multiply that because you already have the pattern, you already have the system, you already know how it works. We have been like really trying to get this message across and speak it very clearly. I have been breaking down processes and funnels and marketing and strategy and trying to get people to truly understand so that they're not overwhelmed and confused. You do not scale a startup. A startup is a startup. Startup is trying to get to that first $100,000. Growth is trying to get to the max amount of revenue that you, the owner, can produce. The max amount of product that like you're out of time, you're going as far as you can go, and you hit a point where you can't do it alone. Got to get there first. Once you get there, now it's about duplication. Now it's about systems. It's so important to know this because I know spas and clinics that I can get to 600, 700, 500, and they're trying to do it all themselves. You're going to run into a problem because what's happening now is you've taken on all the roles and you're out of time and you're trying to do the customer success and satisfaction and you're just running out of you. We are in physical form in the physical universe. You need help. People need help. If you want to scale a business, you need help. So what we teach is what to duplicate first. So there's an actual science to this. There are principles that we apply. So an example is you were the massage therapist. You now made your first $80,000. Now you've gotten over 100,000. Now you have a 1099. Now they are booked up. Now you want to get another massage therapist to come under you. Before you know it, you might even have a franchise. That's on the scaling side. Don't confuse this. Don't try to create a franchise of something that is a startup. And don't try to grow something that hasn't gotten out of startup phase yet. And don't try to scale something that is in growth. All different strategies, all different processes. And so we've been teaching a lot about this in our sales classes, our marketing classes, the mindset mentorship, the VIP container. All of you are at different stages of your business, from the solopreneur to the entrepreneur to the intrapreneur. I am very fond of this last term, intrapreneur. It goes beyond the scale. So remember, startup, grow, scale, intrapreneur. An intrapreneur is someone who grows with a limitless opportunity in someone else's container. They do this together. So I have a couple of people on my team that are intrapreneur. We are partners on some of the programs in my business. So I have mentored, I have trained, I have coached, I have taught, I have developed, and they got to a point to where they hit the max that they could hit in the physical universe. Getting beyond $300,000 by yourself as a body worker, as a coach, as a service-based business, you're going to max out on time, place, energy. It just happens. When that happened, she didn't want to go and scale on her own. She wanted to scale what we were already doing because she was already successful at it. And she had a lot of evidence that other people could be too. We now created this integration of the intrapreneur inside of our company. And now we're teaching other salons and spas and clinics how to do the same thing. Now, what I noticed that is very relevant, finding the right person, vetting them, making sure that they can have their own success. Can they help you take the company faster to the target? Can they help you take the company faster? Can they do something that you can no longer do, that they can compensate for? Or do they have a special talent or gift that maybe no one else has that increases the value of your company? Well, this partner did all of that. And we have a beautiful relationship, and we're showing that it's possible. And so as we are scaling this thing, we are actually coming up with newer ideas, and we're solving more problems in the massage therapy industry, in the spa industry, in the wellness industry. And we're doing this through eSchool. It's just a school, business school for entrepreneurs, talking about the things that I'm talking about today. And we see that there is a problem in the industry. So we have been talking about how we're going to solve this problem. Now we're just in the talk phase. We're in the honeymoon phase. We're dreaming about the vacation, right? And we're getting more and more and more excited about it. And because we're seeing it and we're getting more excited about it, we're getting more evidence that there's a need for it. Now it's getting really exciting. But we're not going to create a whole new startup. We're keeping this in the umbrella, and we're going to create a new program. So I see several people trying to start too many companies. That's a problem. You want all of your companies to be connected. They have to lead to the mission and the vision. They have to stay aligned, and your people have to stay aligned. As we're growing this, we have another coach that's coming on board that has been under my guidance for 5 or 6 years and has now proven herself and has been successful. And she's right at $200,000. And she's able to follow commands and orders and do the process and repeat it. So it takes time to do that. So I think one of the biggest problems in the industry is we're trying to hire someone off the street who doesn't understand our culture. They're not aligned with the mission. They don't have the same purpose. They don't have the same intention. They have a counter intention. And then that creates dysfunction. It also creates a lot of emotional pain. I can speak from that personally. I've gotten attached to a lot of people who I thought were the one, but I didn't put them through the process to see if they could prove that they're the one. This is very important. And so in your hiring process or in your vetting process, You want to make sure that you are doing this. So this is what we're teaching to the clinics, to the spas, to the wellness practitioners who are thinking about duplicating and multiplying. All right. That was mainly what I had for you today, is to recognize what stage you're in and what you need to be focusing on depending on the stage that you are in. If you want to know more about this, then you can just opt in. You want to just opt in here. You want to send me an email and you're like, I would love to know more. You can follow on social media. You can follow on YouTube. You can comment. We answer all of our comments or all of our direct messages. So if you just want to follow along, just follow on Instagram and watch what's going on. Follow on TikTok, follow on Facebook. If you are just listening for entertainment because you're a spiritual being and you want to find success in this world and you like what I'm talking about, but you have a friend who maybe is a massage therapist or a wellness practitioner or a coach or a service-based industry who would actually benefit from hearing this, please share. Give us a 5-star rating and review so that we can grow the channel. All right. I look forward to hearing about your success. And I really want to help you get to the next level. Once you determine what that is and you see that you can trust what we are doing in the industry and you're interested, you should book a strategy call. All right, my friends, have an amazing week.
Thanks for listening to this episode of More Than Mindset.